The biggest professional lie you've been told is that pleasing others is going to lead to success. But for high-achieving, sensitive women, that leads to burnout instead. Your kindness is costing you your health and your success. Hi, I'm Cecilia. As a leadership and career coach, I've supported countless professionals in how to build confidence and speak up, not by being louder, but by learning how to set clear, values-aligned boundaries with kindness. I'm talking to you about this because I used to hate my job. I dreaded this unhealthy cycle I got into of just doing jobs and tasks that weren't even part of my role and that I didn't enjoy. That led me about a decade ago to become obsessed with learning how to set better boundaries. I knew there had to be a different way. You see, kindness is not the problem. Toxic kindness is the problem. Kindness is a really beautiful part of you I don't want you to lose. It's something that makes you, you, and we need it so much at work right now. Today I'm really talking about people pleasing. This is that toxic kindness that can be based in fear or based in sacrificing ourselves. What does people pleasing at work look like? Hey, Jim is about to miss his deadline, so you come to the rescue. Sally asks for yet another favor and you always say yes. John always cuts you off in meetings and you never get your point across and you stay quiet. It seems like you're always prioritizing other people's urgent tasks. I get it. I used to be a huge people pleaser, and what drove me there were two things. One, I was scared. I didn't want to say no and lose my job or not be liked at work. And two, I am a kind person and I didn't like to see someone else suffer, especially when I knew I could help. So what does kindness look like versus toxic kindness? Toxic kindness leads us to completely sacrifice our own needs. You start to skip your lunch, not leave on time. You start to fall behind in your own work, or you don't even have time to go after your career goals because you're constantly trying to catch up on other people's work. This kind of self-neglect starts to turn to burnout. Studies show that more women experience burnout than men. 44% of women versus 36% of men. Stats will be below. That's huge. And one of the biggest contributors to that for the women I work with is people pleasing. You see, somewhere along the way, you learned that someone else's needs are more important than ours. That how they see us is more important than how we see ourselves. That's typically something that we learn in childhood, and it's a fantastic survival skill. There's actually a lot of good tools in that. However, it's no longer working for you. I have no choice. That's the number one lie that I heard myself say, and I hear now my clients saying. I have no choice to say no because so-and-so will be annoyed. I have no choice in saying no. What if they see me in a different way? What if they don't see me as being professional anymore? Or the biggest one, it's just always been done like this. Ooh, that's a big one. These words are so disempowering. It's an illusion that takes you away from yourself and, more importantly, away from what's truly important to you in your career. The truth is there's always a choice. There's always a slight shift and doing something slightly differently. That's the good news. Now, let me know in the comments, have you ever felt like you just have no choice in the matter? When you go from feeling completely disempowered to feeling like the creator in your life, the creator of your career, the one that's in driver's seat, that's one of the biggest moves away from burnout. Why? Burnout isn't just about time. It isn't about just working longer hours. There's underlying things like the chronic stress of being scared, of not knowing what's coming at you and not knowing how to react to it. Feeling like you're the one that's always taking on additional things and no one else is. Or feeling unseen and invisible at work. Those things are an emotional experience that also lead us high sensitive but high achieving women into a low grade stress, which then turns to higher grade stress. And so we work and we work and we try to prove, and we prove to ourselves and we try to prove to others, and it doesn't seem to work anymore. When you start to get your power back and reclaim your time, your energy, when you start to feel more like yourself again, it's time to ask yourself, what do you actually really want? What kind of skills do you want to develop in your career? Where do you want your next role to go? Who do you want to be as a professional? Exploring those questions and having the space to do that allows you to connect to a deeper part of you, an authentic part of you that's meant for great things in your career. When you strengthen your skills and your natural attributes, you create more options in your career. But success includes your well-being. The future of your work requires for you to be healthy and happy and energized. You deserve to be successful in your career, and you deserve to be employed by someone who understands this and supports this. The fastest path out of people pleasing is setting small, healthy boundaries. This leads to a beautiful skill called self-leadership, and that is something that you will develop to become a true creator and driver of your own career. If you're following along so far and you're saying, yes, this is me, I have a couple steps you can take. Number one, either consider this or journal, even better. 3 prompts. One is, where am I saying yes when I actually want to be saying no? The second journal prompt, what do I fear is going to happen if I say no? And the third one, really important, where did I first learn that being helpful means I'm valuable? Consider those for yourself and see what insights you have. The second step is I want you to start to identify your boundary gaps. For example, your time. When are you giving your time away for free and not valuing your time? What about your energy? Are you feeling drained from other people's requests? Are you feeling drained from the way you think about people's requests? And the third one I want you to think about are your values. Are you honoring what matters most to you? The third step is to start practicing saying no, but in low stake situations. Do you have a colleague who you know is really nice and you can practice saying no nicely to? Are there any non-urgent products that you're sort of tempted and pulled to over-own that you could say and pull back on? Is there a weekend invite you just don't really want to say yes to because it doesn't truly matter for you? Is that where you can practice a healthy no? If you want, I've created a free guide on how to say no without ever using the word no, but it's still a good practice to have. Another important thing is to catch burnout before you actually get to burnout. There are some early signs that your work might be leading you there, and I talk about them in this next video.